plug its nuclear power plants. Germany has announced that by 2022 it will be nuclear-free. The decision follows the disaster at Japan's Fukushima plant. Earlier this year, Germany's 17 nuclear plants will be permanently closed over the next decade. There have been widespread protests calling for the government to abandon its nuclear program. Germany relies on nuclear power for 23% of its energy. To talk about this a little more and look at some possible alternatives, we're joined by Pegg. He's the president of Energy Alternatives, which is Canada's longest operating renewable energy company. Good afternoon, Kevin.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
So 17 power plants to be unplugged by 2022, that's 10 years from now, and about face for the German government. So can they do this, relying on nuclear power as they do for 23% of their energy?
Oh, absolutely, this can be done. Once again, Germany is showing international leadership on the energy file, much like they've been with solar photovoltaics recently. The shutdown of nuclear is going to enable all these other technologies that have previously been dismissed for reasons of cost or other concerns to come up and be used.
So let's talk about some of those alternative energy sources. What is Germany looking at specifically?
I'm not aware of the specific discussions going on in the engineering circles in Germany. That must be fairly interesting. If I were tasked with that, I would be looking at energy efficiency options. What can we do to use the energy that we do use more efficiently? And then we get into the generation side of things. The world has tremendous untapped resources in the terms of solar photovoltaic, solar electricity, solar thermal, wind, geothermal, tidal, you name it. It just really opens up the possibilities.
Well, a lot of possibilities that have certainly been discussed over the years, but there must be challenges certainly facing that kind of implementation. What might they be?
A lot of the challenges would be the status quo of, we're looking for the current scenario being large centralized power plants that deliver power relatively economically. Changing that to a distributed power system where you look at every rooftop has the potential to have solar arrays on it, and that power is generated very efficiently and it's right at the point of consumption, so you don't have all the losses that happen in transmissions, as an example.
So given the 10-year transition period and the challenges, certainly in terms of dollars, in getting the alternative underway, could this in any way jeopardize Germany's energy supply in the short term?
I don't feel so. Feel that way. 10 years is adequate time. Give humans a challenge, and we're awesome at meeting the challenge.
So what lessons should Canada take away from this?
Well, Canada is in a really interesting position because of our abundance of natural resources and our abundance of land mass. I've heard it reported that Canada has one of the best wind resources in all of the world, and that resource is relatively untapped at this point. So we're starting to see wind farms sprouting up all around Ontario. With the feed-in tariff program that is showing a tremendous leadership on renewables. So there's tons of options.
Okay. Pegg, thanks so much for your time. Coming up after the break, Ottawa begins filling the